So hello guys, welcome to my channel, and today we are going to learn about the pandas concept. Okay, so we'll continue with the things where we had left earlier. Okay, so we had covered till here, that is how to form a data frame and what are the types of data frame, like what are the types by which we can form the data frame, that is using dictionary, then list of dictionary, and then list. Okay, then we studied about some concepts like operations like p dot values, then info columns, etc., right? Then we did some exercises like changing column name to different things, then forming a new column, then changing the data type, etc., right? So now we will see like how to create a data frame and saving it into Excel. Okay, so now we are creating a data frame here. For example, a is equal to 1 2 3 9 8 99. Okay, and pd dot data frame. Okay, let's import it. Import pandas as pd. Okay, then we will create this data frame here. Okay, so this is the data frame here. As you can see, xyz and pa, where xy is 19 and 28 is y and 399 is z. Okay, so if I give one more thing like okay, let's try to save this. Okay, so how we can save this file is, so c dot to excel if you want to save it in the form of Excel. Okay, as you can see here, if I press the tab and then to, then you have different formats here, to clipboard, to csv, to dictionary, to Excel, right? So we will choose to Excel here, and after that we will give a name here to file, like in which format you need to save here. So the extension of Excel is xlsx. Okay, and then a sheet name is equal to a1. Okay, so let's save this, and after saving this we can see it in the file itself. Okay, so what is the file name? Data frame, right? So this is the file here which we created just now. So as you can see, the same values are stored here, 19 29 28 and 399. Okay, so this is how you can create a data frame and store it in the form of Excel. Okay, now if you want to read the same Excel here, what you can do is you can pd then dot read Excel. Okay, and in the similar format you have different extension here. For example, read then 10, read csv, read Excel, etc. Okay, then html, json, etc. Okay, so we need Excel, right? So we'll read the Excel and let's see the values. Okay, so we will get this in this format. Okay, whenever you try to load the Excel. So now the next thing is importing the data set. So we are I have a data set here which is the WhatsApp chat data set. Okay, so we will try to handle it using, like, how you can import the data set here. So what you can do is you can give any one name here with respect to the name, that is data, then pd dot read table because it is the form of text. Okay, then we can see the data here. Okay, so this is in this format, and as you can see here, the messages or the data, the first row is taken as header here, which we do not want. Okay, so in case you don't want this in case of Excel, then what you can do is you can mention here header is equal to none. It will load it in proper format. Then data dot tail will give you the last 5 values of the table, and data dot head will give the beginning of the 5 values. Sorry, head, it's HEAD. Okay, sorry. Okay, beginning 5 values, and data dot sample will give you like whatever values you mention here, like this, but it will always differ. Okay, as you can see, it is always differing here, data dot sample. So next is we are so this is how we can import the data set or the text format of the data, and then we can like have a look on the data using data dot head, tail, or the sample. So next we will do a small exercise here. Okay, so first we will create a data frame using this values, and then we will perform these operations, like extract the rows whose total sum is even. Okay, so now how to extract whose sum is even? So there exists one function here which is named by sum. So what you can do is you can either use this method or this method. So so this method works like, first you need to pass the data set name, like whatever variable you have initiate the data frame. Then what you can do is, c with the name of the data frame itself, c dot sum, then axis is 1 mod 2, that means whatever values are divided by 2 are returned here. Okay, so this is how it is given. So as you can see, p and s are the data values whose sum is even, that means 3 plus 2 is 5 and 6 which is even, and 2 plus 2 plus 2 is 6 which is even. But here 9 plus 8 is 17, 18, 19 which is odd, right? So if I give here not equal to 0, then it will return only one row. See, so this is how this function works, like this operation works. Extract the rows whose total sum is even. Okay, now we need to do one more operation here. Append a new column named b to the data frame which defines the multiplication of each element in one row. That means we are appending one column here whose values are multiplication of each term here. Okay, so how this works here is, what you can do, you can use any of these syntaxes. Okay, for example, I am initializing the data here and then passing product dot exist1, that means it is calculating the product of exist1. Also you can use prod here, also you can use eval here. Okay, so let's go with eval here because this gives the clear cut idea. So new dot c, this we are passing this data frame and then evaluating q. So this is the new column name q. Okay, and then we are multiplying x, y, z, like that. Okay, so let's check this. So as you can see, 9 8s are 72, 72 into 2 is 144. Okay, so will this, like, will have this, that would be better. So now you can check here. So 1 2 is a 2, 3 is a 6, 2 2 is a 4, 2 is a 8, like that. Okay, so these also syntaxes work, you can like work upon them. Okay, so the next we are studying in pandas is selection methods. That means if you have a data set and if you want to select specific column and specific values of that column, then what you can do, you can have a different various selection methods. So either you can select it by label, either you can select it by position, or using a regular exploration. Okay, so here is selection by label. So dot lock, this attribute is governing parameter to select data by label. Okay, and slicing is performed based on the label of the index. So let's check this. So first we are creating a data frame here, simple data frame, that is pqrs, then we are passing the values here. Okay, now as you can see here, b dot lock. So first you need to remember this is, so this comma differentiate between the rows and columns. Okay, so consider this as rows a, b, c, and p, q, r, s as columns. Okay, now we are passing here a and b. Okay, so we are passing a and b and comma, then colon in this sense it will consider all the columns. Okay, so that means you are not specifying any column here. So a and b, it will take 1 5 2 6 3 7 4 8. Okay, so let's check this. As you can see, 1 5 2 6 3 7 4 8. Okay, now as you can see here, what we have specified here is in the second one, a to c, that means a, b, c it will take, and we are specifying columns from r, that means we are not taking p and q here, just we will get r and s. Okay, so let's check this. So we are getting a, b, c, that is row names, and columns as r and s. Okay, so like similar to slicing it works. Okay, so next is b and r, that means it will take bth row and column r. Okay, oh sorry, okay, so let's check this. So that means bth row and column r, so this and column r, so this is value 7. Okay, so this is the use of lock. But in case of lock, it also considers the end value, that means it is considering the bth row or the bth index also, and here it is considering rth row and the end column name also. But in case of selection by position, it does not consider the end one. Okay, so it will not evaluate the end values, just before the end value it will take into consideration. So let's create one data frame here, and as you can see, b.ilog is the selection by position. Okay, that means by index, as you can see. So 0 to 2, that means control C. So 0 to 2 is consider this indexing by row as 0, 1 and 2. Okay, so it will consider 0 and 1, it will not consider 2, that means it will not consider cth row, and it will consider from 1, 0, 1, 2, that means it will consider till r. So consider the indexing using 0, 1, 2, 3 and 0, 1, 2. Okay, so it will consider from 0 and 1, that means a and b, and here it will consider 0, 1, 2, that is pqr. Okay, so let's check this. So as you can see, a and b and pqr. So in the similar way, it will consider from 1, it will leave p, that is it will leave 0, 1, it will leave pq, and it will consider from r and s, and here it will neglect a, and it will consider from b and c. Okay, so as you can see, b and c and r and s. Okay, so this is selection by position, and this was selection by label. So the next is selection by regular expression. So there is one model which gives the details about the regular expression and its working. So let's consider this scenario, like how we can use this to get the specified values from the data frame. So we created a data frame here which goes by the column names column 1, 2, 3 and 4, and indexing as 1, 2 and 3. So now we are using a filter method here to filter out the columns or the rows, and here regex says the rows which are ending with e. Okay, so exists 0 in the sense which are ending with e. Okay, so this will give you 1 and 3. So 2 does not have e in it, or it doesn't end with e. If I give here it which ends with o, then it will just give the second row, as you can see, right? So and here is starting with t. Okay, and now we are filtering with this, so we will get only 2 and 3. But if I give starting with c here, and if I give axis 1, then I should get all the values, because axis 1 considers this, and which is starting with c. If I give starting with t, then it will give nothing. Okay, so this is the working of regex. So you can have a look upon it and have some hands-on experience, like hands-on practice, then you will get better understanding. Okay, so the next concept is data cleaning. Okay, so we will import the same data set, that is WhatsApp chat, and as you can see, the data is like it's not in a proper format. Okay, so there are 124 rows and one column, so single-handed one column. Now what we are going to do is, first we are going to split the timestamp and chat in different columns. So as you can see, I am using ilog, that is using indexing, splitting it by using selection using position. Okay, so by using this I am considering the first column, that is 0th column. So only one column is there, so I am considering only the first column. Okay, and then I'm using this method string.split, and I'm splitting it at m colon. So as you can see here, it is m and colon. Okay, so it will split at this point, and it will retain all the values in some other column and this in other column. Okay, and then I'm doing only one split, and I'm expanding at as true. Okay, so let's see data. So this we will have in first column, that is 0, and after this m, as you can see, after p, then m dot, it is splitting it here, and it is storing this friend 1, Richard, etc. in the second column. So this is how we splitted it. Okay, so now the next thing is, what we are going to do is, first we are going to copy this data.ilog, that is 0th column, in some different format. Okay, and this reset index, what it does is, suppose you have some null values, and then you drop those null values or drop the duplicates, then the index position of these changes. That means, suppose this row has some null values 2, and you use data frame dot drop duplicates. Okay, so then this row will be deleted, right? So then indexing will go like 0, 1 and 3. so 2 won't be there, right? So 0, 1 and 3 will be there. So reset index, what it will do is it will reset the entire index in a proper format. That means resetting the number accordingly. So that means it will number as 0, 1, 2 even if this row is not there. That means third position will get the number 2. Okay, so that means it resets the index. Okay, then I am giving the column name as timestamp and then data1.head. Okay, so in the end I have this, so let's uncomment this. So both are same, don't worry. Okay, and then I'm getting this format. Okay, so next thing is what I'm doing is I'm taking the first column into consideration, data.1, so this column into consideration, and then I'm splitting it at this point. That means I'm splitting it at this point, friend 1. Okay, that means I'm retaining only the chart now, and then split is only 1 and expand is 2, then the same. And then I'm naming the columns as name and conversion, like that means conversion of the chat. Okay, so let's check this. So data.head, so as you can see friend 1 I'm getting name and conversion in the second one. Okay, so the next thing is we need to have these things replaced, like mobile number with the friend, and then we need to omit these things, that is video and gif and image, right? So what I will do is first I will drop the duplicates and drop the NA values, and then I will replace the mobile number with friend 8 and this mobile number with friend 6 and this mobile number with friend 99. Okay, so if I run this now, if you check here data.head 30, you will see that it is gone, that every mobile number is gone. Okay, and then I got just friend. Okay, in the names list. So how we are replacing it is, first we are giving the data frame name, then which column name you want to replace, the name. Then what we're doing, if the data frame dot column name contains this number, then replace it with this. That is how the syntax goes for replacing. Okay, and for erasing the values, that means gif omitted, image omitted, video omitted, we need not need these values, so I'm erasing those values. So what I'm doing is I'm storing it in data, that means I'm changing it permanently. So data of conversation if contains this is equal to false. So I'm using boolean thing here to erase those values. So if I run this, okay, and if I check the data now, so I will get this. So everything is cleared now, that means I don't have these things, video and gif and the phone numbers. So this is how our data is now. Okay, so as you can see, first it was in this format which was all messy, and now it is in a proper format, like somewhat proper format. Okay, now what I am doing is, so this is how data cleaning works. Okay, so this was a small overview about a data cleaning. So there are many things in data cleaning. So once we solve a proper data set, then you will get to understand it. So now just we are studying the pandas basics, right? So this much is sufficient to understand like what we are doing. Okay, so there are many operations you need to understand. Okay, so before that we will do some things, and then we will go to the data set. Okay, now I'm importing NumPy library and pandas library and forming a data frame here. Okay, now if you see I will get, if I see your data frame, this is how the data frame is. Now if I run this df.drop duplicates, so what will happen, as you can see 10, 32 and 96 is present twice. When I run this df.drop duplicates, one of the rows will be erased permanently. That means it will drop the duplicates. See, so first it had 5 rows, now it has only 4 rows. So this is how drop duplicates work. Okay, now how we can get the unique values of column. Okay, so first we need to drop duplicates and then reset index. So this is how we get the unique values from the name itself. That means friend 1 is repeated 5 times, right? So we are getting it only once, only the distinct values you can say. So data frame dot the column name, then we are dropping the duplicates here, and then reset index and drop true. Okay, so this is how you get the unique values of the column. And then the ts.header file is just the like the entire timestamp which we had in the earlier column. Okay, so next is there is one more data set exercise. Okay, I have one more data set here. As you can see, let's check the data here first. So this is how the data set is. So as you can see, if I don't specify header here, it will take the first row as the header itself. Okay, so now if I give here header is equal to none, then it will index it according to the number. So this is how it indexes. Okay, so these are some values of the data. Now what we will do is we will rename the columns. So how you can rename this? So data dot columns is equal to whatever column names you want to give here. Okay, now if you check the data, so this is how the data looks. That means we rename the column. Okay, now as you can see, there are question marks in the data set. So we want the count of those question marks. So how you can get it? So first we need to get the data where is equal to data where there is question mark, then we need to get the count, and we will store it in a different data set. Okay, so this is how we get. That means these are the particular counts here with respect to the question mark. Okay, now as you can see, the length, lanes, and the span has like many missing values. Okay, that means many question marks, right? So we will drop it. Okay, okay, now if I run this again, then those these columns are missing here. That means we have dropped it, right? Now if I get the info here, so this will give us the info. The shape will give us the rows and columns info. Okay, now we will replace the question marks using the nan. Okay, so that so still there are question marks, right? So we will replace this with nan so that we can run other operations. It will be easy. So as you can see, data, now we got the nan values here wherever there was question mark. Okay, now as you can see, when there was question mark, we were not able to run like how many null values are there, but when you replace it with nan, we will get how many null values are there with respect to the particular column. Okay, so is na will give you the null values, and dot sum means total number of null values with respect to particular column. Next is data drop na. That means we are dropping the null values, and threshold 8 in the sense even if there is one column where there are at least 8 non-empty values, then we are keeping it, otherwise we are dropping those columns. Okay, so after that, finally the shape of data is 106 and 10. First it was 108 and then 10 columns. Now it is 106 and 10. Okay, so the next is what we are doing is we are filling na, that is an empty values with mode of that particular column. So what I am doing for I in data, that means I am iterating over the data, all the values of data. If data of I is null, any, that means if there are any null values, then replace the ith value of data with data dot fill na with data dot I of mode. That means it will take the mode of the entire column and replace it with whatever value those have. Okay, now if I check the null values, all are gone because we have replaced it with mode. Okay, so there is other function also where we can replace it with mode, like you can use the replace function. Okay, and directly you can store it using the replace. Okay, so the next in pandas is merging. That means if you have two data frames of similar kind, then how you will merge it. Okay, so let's check this first. I'll comment out this and let's check A. So this is our A data frame, and then this is our B data frame. So as you can see, there were 9 values in both the scenarios, and the index is same, PQR, right? So we are concatenating both the data frames at the axis 1. Okay, so let's check this. So this is how it works. If I specify axis 0 here, then this is how it works. Okay, so it changes according to the axis. Okay, so axis 1 directly connects this to down here, and axis 0 will connect it like this. Okay, horizontally. So as you can see, it is connecting like this, but axis 0 it will connect like this. That means it will check for 0 values and like that, row wise, and axis 1 connects with column wise. Okay, So this is how merging works, that you can directly concatenate and then you can specify the axis. Okay, so as you can see here, index changes then creates a merge with nan values. Okay, if you change the index. Okay, for example, as you can see here, first there are 1 2 3 4 5 6 6 7 8, and then I have not given any values here, so those are replaced with nan here. Okay, automatically. And 2 3 after that it has replaced with nan here. So when you concatenate, and if there are missing values, then this function will automatically replace it with nan values. Okay, so the next thing is reshaping. What reshaping does is it will reshape it accordingly. So let's check this how it works. So first we are forming a data frame which is of this kind, that is a1, a2, b1 and b2. That means a is common here and b is common here, so we want to combine these things. So what we can do is pd.data frame. So we are generating random numbers here from 4 that is 8 random numbers, and then using specifying columns here. Okay, so then you can check the values here. So as you can see, 8 values we have generated randomly for 0.32 etc, which are normalized. Okay, and as you can see, it has removed the column like common factors here, that is a, b, 1 2 1 2 and pq and xy. So this is how we can reshape it. Okay, so there is one more method using b.stack. This is how it reshapes it, and b.unstack, this is how it reshapes. So it reshapes vertically, it reshapes horizontally. Okay, and this reshapes according what you have given it. Okay, so you can have a look on this, the reshaping method. So the next thing is the pivot table. Okay, so that means if you have some common factors, okay, then you can form a pivot of it. For example, this is the data frame here where there are some characters, name, their rating, power and weapon. Okay, and then we are forming the pivot table with index as name. That means this will take as index, and columns, that means this deadly, hero and rich will be a column. Okay, and the remaining values will be stored accordingly, and if there are no values, then there will be a nan value present, that means empty set, empty value. So as you can see, the name is index here, and power is columns here, deadly, hero, rich, deadly, hero, rich. Okay, and then there is one more index here, that is rating and weapon, that is column name. So this is how you can form a pivot. Okay, so there is one more thing, that is pivot table. Okay, so it works in a similar way, but it forms a little bit of in a proper way. So in a pivot table, that means it will reduce the redundancy which exists in pivot. Okay, so pivot table. So the next and the last thing is grouping and sorting. Okay, okay, so let's check this first. So what is grouping and sorting? So suppose if you have a data frame where there is dog and price, and as you can see, we need to group it using the dog name. Okay, okay, so if there are 2 dogs, then it will group it accordingly. So let's check this. So as you can see, it is grouping using dog and then the price. Okay, so if I give here price, and if I change some price to similar value, let's give 22 here. Next, see how it will form. So you can see it has merged these things into one group, and it is given German and rot. Okay, and then it will give the price. That means it is merging it or grouping it, whatever values are common, and it is specifying it. Now suppose if I give this lab and lab same, and if I keep this existing as dog, then it will group according to dog. As you can see, it has taken into consideration the lab only one, and it is merged the price, that is 1 lakh, that is 90,000 plus 10,000, that is 1 lakh. Okay, so this is how it works. And if you want to sort it, you can use sort values function, and by price you are sorting it, and ascending is false. Okay, and if you give ascending is true here, that means it will give the values in ascending order. Okay, so sort values will sort the values ascending or descending. Group will group by according to whatever category you specify. Okay, so this was the overview about the pandas library. So hope you learned something. So we started with creating a data frame, then we cleaned a simple data set. Okay, then we did some exercises, and lastly we checked how we can reshape it or merge it using pivot table, then concatenate, and lastly reshaping it using multi-index or from the tuples. Then we also learned how to generate random numbers using random.random, and then you can reshape it using b.stack and b.unstack, and lastly pivot table, and then grouping and sorting, right? So this was all about the pandas library. Hope you learned something and understood something. So try to practice as much as you can so that you will get a better hands-on practice and better experience. So if you like this video, hit that subscribe button, and till then stay tuned, stay connected, take care, bye bye.